Hi, everyone. I'm Kevin. Welcome to a new interview series, In Tight with Danny Balis. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the man. It's Danny. It's Dingu.
Hello. What's up, Kevio?
What are you doing, man?
I'm trying to get my camera positioned properly, but it's being a biatch. There we go. No,
This streaming stuff is for the birds.
it's pretty stupid. And
Now
hello, America.
Oh, look, I've added a little ticker there at the bottom. Yeah, we're doing kick-ass stuff now.
This is weird.
It is weird. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I really don't have anything else to do.
Congrats on the new record.
Thanks, man.
It's really good.
Yeah, dude, that's right. Because let's see, you did a what was it? You kind of like when it dropped that Friday. Was that the day that we got fired?
I think it was a week after we got exactly a week after we got fired.
After,
well, you got fired. I got let go and then brought back.
Yeah. So okay, that was a week after. That's right. And I thought that was really cool what you did.
It was fun.
You did kind of it was weird because I know that there's like licensing things that are in play on any streaming like YouTube or Instagram, Twitter, whatever, that you can't play, copyrighted music without some type of permission, or you get your video taken down. So that was kind of cool that you had people pull it up on their platforms and hit play at the same time. You can kind of listen together and comment or whatever. I thought that was a unique way to a unique workaround to get a little communal thing happening.
I think
listen to that.
People that watched it from the beginning were like, they like knew what to do.
Yeah.
I think people who were like maybe flying by and jumping in were like highly confused.
Yes.
Just looking at a Spotify stream.
Just silence.
But I was like, and I had it hooked up. So I had it hooked up on a speaker, so I was kind of jamming along in my room.
Right.
While still streaming and had my mic muted and all that. And it was like fun to do, but I was also like, I just like seeing people reacting in real time to listening, because we should listen to records as a whole together more than we do now,
Yeah, I think it's hard to do. I think people, that used to be a thing, especially when I was a kid, growing up in 70s and 80s, that you would get a new record and you would take it over to your friend's house and you would have multiple people over and put it on. And because it was a record, it was difficult to pause or skip a track. So you just listen to the whole thing and you didn't really talk because, like I said, you couldn't pause to comment. You'd flip the record and you may have some things to say in between flipping the album. You go the other side and listen. And that's kind of like you would spend hours doing that with your friends. Used to call them record hops back in the day, where you get a bunch of people together and listen to records and carry them around in your bag. And you just don't get to do that anymore. Number one, people don't get together anymore. The last time you went over to somebody's house and just hung out and listened to music?
Yeah, never. And
never.
There was cool little things that were done. Oh, thank you, Andrew. Jesus. These are the ways you can serve potatoes, the sing along. Look, if someone donates money, Danny, I will immediately stop the train of thought and I will talk to that person directly.
What happened?
Andrew, can you see the comments?
Yeah.
He gave me $10.
Hey.
All the money that's donated to me tonight will go in the Malcolm College Fund. So just know that. Watch it and light up.
If he's smart, he won't go to college.
Kevin, please take note on Danny's background and camera position. You look like you're sinking in the bottom of the screen. Well, look, I am just being me, man. All right. Jeff has given you $20 for the stitches to get in your back after you lost your job and I kept mine.
For the stabbing recovery.
You see how easy it is to start looking at the Daniel. Thank you, Jesus.
You know, it's if you had like 30,000 people instead of what, six? Yeah. And they all like gave you money, you could just do this.
Yeah, right.
Right.
You should do this.
Yeah, just do this every night.
Hey, some people are trying to do that, and some people are doing that successfully.
Yeah, I did the Hang Zone with Jake and Dan last Thursday.
The Dumb Zone, sir.
I'm sorry, the Dumb Zone, and it was cool, it was fun, it was weird. I'd never been to Dan's house before, and he's got it. The studio is really small. It's probably the size of my living room, and it's on top of his garage. It's like a little garage room, and it's so outfitted with like multi cameras that are mobile. They can move and zoom in and out, automated. They're automatically zoom in and out. There's so much like professional lighting that Rob, their engineer, puts together. I mean, it is a fucking high tech operation, but there's so much gear that when you're sitting, and I guess, you know, it's like that on a set of a studio or whatever, like soundstage, that what you see on camera, it looks real tight. It looks great. But when you're in the room, it's like there's so many boom stands and wires, and it feels really, there's like an austerity to it where it doesn't kind of feel like as homely as it looks on screen. But
two little dogs.
Once you kind of get past, yeah, exactly. Once you get past all of the technical aspect of it, it was really, really fun.
Three people behind you who had paid to come up and hang.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Strangers that I'd never met before that were really nice.
Incredible.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's fun watching. It's almost like fun watching their ride, you know, to kind of see where this goes and what they've been doing. And also, like, I also watched that whole episode, and watching it's way different than listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, because I'm watching it and I know that I'm not watching something live, and that's a weird element. There's one thing I have to say I wanted to bring up to you, and I want to say that I understand your take. And you don't know if it was a take and we're just having a conversation. You do need to watch 100% Fresh, the Adam Sandler Netflix thing.
I will.
And it's annoying when people go, you need to watch this. But that thing is, like, Questlove called it the perfect stand-up special.
Okay.
It is very fascinating how it's done. And you switch to Adam Sandler voice? Yeah, you're going to get a little bit of that.
I know I minimize him, and half of me doing that is just to aggravate people that love him. I recognize his brilliance, and I think he's incredibly talented. But I don't know.
He's made.
I don't think that everything he touches is great.
A lot of it's bad.
Yeah,
in the last 20 years for sure. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt.
I don't know if I've ever seen him do stand up.
Yeah, and I actually went and saw him live do it because of the first stand-up special, like that 100% Fresh. But, you know, growing up, I had his albums. So, like, I am a fan. There's stupid songs like I Ran Over the Taco Bell Dog. But
yeah, and this sounds hypocritical coming from me, but I'm not a huge fan of the comedy song. I know that may sound weird.
Yeah.
I think that especially if you kind of rely on it as a crutch, again, sounds hypocritical for me to say that, but I think very few can do it to where it keeps my interest. I just thought he went to that well so many times, and I didn't think Opera Man was funny, and a Hanukkah song. Okay, cool. I get it. You found some rhymes, and I never really thought he was that brilliant when it came to silly songs. I found it was like almost, they could have been more, I don't know, creative or funnier. I just thought, oh, here's a really funny dude, hand him a guitar. He can sing a little bit. And when you do that, it kind of takes it up a notch to a lot of people. And maybe it's just because I do the same thing in a certain sense.
Well,
playing music and then adding silly shit lyrics to it and making them funny. I don't know. Maybe I'm over scrutinizing it, but
no,
he never really
because
wowed me with any of that stuff.
so he's doing all this on this
But
special.
stand up, I'm all in. I'd love to see it. Yeah, I want to see it.
It's a lot of music and it's a lot of stand up. And he's got a guy there. The guy's name is Dan Bulla. He is he's kind of the guy playing piano on all these songs. It's a guy he's worked with, and he plays guitar on some songs. Some he just sings while the guy's playing guitar. It's like a really good musician. He's a writer on SNL too. Dan Bulla is very funny. And it's taken place over, he did a tour of like 25 concerts. So it's going throughout all these venues and it's edited together. It's just done really well, and yeah, I think you would like it. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. It's on.
I'm not sitting here going,
is it on Netflix? I guess it's on Netflix, right? Okay.
Yeah. 100% Fresh is what it's called.
I just finished a show on Netflix that absolutely floored me. I thought it was so good. I can't stop thinking about it. And I want to I almost started it over from the beginning and watched it again. And it hasn't gotten great reviews. Some of the reviews I've read said it's really bad, but man, it did not hit me that way. Have you seen Ripley yet?
I've not seen Ripley. Is it about Believe It or Not?
It is no, it is you remember the movie, The Talented Mr. Ripley? And I think it had Matt Damon in it. Does that sound right?
Let me look it up.
Talented Mr. Ripley. I think it was Matt Damon.
Yeah, in 1999.
Jude Law, I think. Anyway, that was a movie. This is an eight-part series that's on Netflix. And it is outstanding. I'd never seen the movie before. I had never read the book. But so I was surprised at all of the twists and the way it ended. I had no idea what the ending was. I was able to avoid that until it actually happened in the series. But oh my God, is it incredible. It's all shot in black and white. I wouldn't say it's got like a noir feel to it. It just has a classic movie feel to it. And you almost feel that you're watching something that was created in 1952. The acting is extraordinary. And the way that, because they do have 6.5, 7 hours, because I think each episode's between like 38 and 48 minutes, because they do have 6 hours to really tell the story. They spend a lot of time with lingering shots and allowing the natural tension of the mundane aspects of pulling a caper kind of happen almost in real time. So you feel it build and feel it build. And it's awkward and uncomfortable to watch, but Ripley on Netflix is so good. I don't know if you'll like it. I don't know if it's too old man, Turner movie classic feeling to it, but the large portion of it is shot in various locations in Italy, and you were just in Italy. So you might think that it's badass, but it's gorgeous. Even though it's in black and white, you still get the feeling, of, if you've ever been to that country before, which you have, you feel the vibe of it. And it's just outstanding. I cannot recommend that enough. It blew me away.
Should I
want to watch it again?
Does this make you want to watch the 1999 movie again?
I've never watched the 1999 movie, so I had no idea what happened in this. I had a very general knowledge of what it was about, that it was about a con man, but as far as that goes, I did not know anything else about it.
Gwyneth Paltrow, Jude Law,
in the movie.
Blanchett. Philip Seymour Hoffman was in the movie too.
I kind of want to watch the movie now. I bet the movie goes by in what feels like 15 minutes after watching this series.
It had a $40 million budget, Danny, a $130 million box office score, $90 million. Matt Damon in 1999 must have been, geez. He must have been what? He was 29. Okay. I thought he was a little kid.
Not that wasn't long after Good Will Hunting, right? Wasn't that?
Good Will Hunting was 98, right?
No, Good Will Hunting?
97.
Was it 97?
Yeah, damn.
Holy shit.
God,
we're going to wake up dead one day.
What else?
Wake up and you're going to be dead and be like, well, what happened all the time?
What else you been watching? You have been getting up early, right? Have you been sleeping in now?
No, I'm not getting up at 4. I do still get up early. Today I was up at 7. tomorrow.
Four's different.
I'll sleep in tomorrow a little bit, but
Let me say something real quick. I'm
Yep.
sorry. You know, so when the show, and we're not going to sit here and talk about the past, but when the show change happened, I was not worried about it. I was worried about it because I kind of had developed. I thought me and Jeff and Julie had developed a little good thing, but like I was worried that you and Mikey were just gonna hate mornings. And look, I know I'm the guy that has no talent and has a good work ethic to get by. People didn't know Danny was there before anyone every single day. Like, and they moved us up to 6 a.m. from 7, and Danny was there every day before me. Like, dude was coming in ready to go, and it was a pleasure working with you.
It was a blast working with you, man. I miss it too. I miss it every day. I miss the routine. I miss the camaraderie. I miss seeing you clowns every single day. You know, you spend more time with your coworkers than you do with your family. You know, that's maybe not in radio since the shifts are, you're not working an 8-hour shift, but yeah, I miss it, man. I miss mainly I miss the friendship, and I miss the laughter because it's so good. And working with Mikey, it's nonstop.
It's ridiculous
with him. He's such a comedy machine, and just a true blue dude, and one of my dearest and bestest friends, as you have become. Over, I guess, how long? We didn't even get 6 months in that slot, did we?
I mean, yeah,
no, we did. We got about 8, 9, right?
8, yeah,
8 or 9. Okay. Well, yeah, I meant not even quite a year, but in that short time, getting closer with you was awesome, and kind of seeing how you operate and how important this type of job and this what passion you have for broadcasting is really, really cool to see. I don't have that. It never was a passion of mine. It was always something fun that people would, for whatever reason, give me a paycheck to do. And I was able to carve out a little bit of a living out of it, and a small, bit of my life, or a good portion of my life, actually, a career out of it. And but I do the things that I miss mostly are just the interaction and the laughs and just all the chicanery.
Yeah, like I didn't know how it would go, because I just didn't like. I knew like the three of us would be fine. Just because I've known y'all forever, it seems like, or 10 to 15 years. And how intimately, not so much. I mean, 3 or 4 years, the ticket in 09 to 13 or whatever, as a part-time guy, is not getting to know someone really well. But I'd spent a little more time with Mike doing his weekend show and things like that. But like, I just didn't know, like, when the decision was made, it's like, okay, well, we got to go to mornings now. Dude, no one wants to get up at 4 a.m. Like, no one wants to do that. But by the end of it, I almost look at it as like, I feel like we're like a starting pitcher who did give up 7 runs and 2 1/3, but I thought we had good stuff. I thought we had our best stuff.
Yeah.
That's the thing that bums me out, is I'm like, I was outside of watching TV with Rocks, the happiest part of my day was like, oh, well, wake up and go hang out with the guys. It was like, it's a lot of fun.
So much fun. Yeah. I
don't know.
The hours at some point, they just become muscle memory, and you just do it, and you figure out when you're going to go to bed and when you're going to catch a nap, and you adjust your schedules and you figure it out. It's like, it's not the death rattle to have to wake up 3 hours earlier than you normally would. It just takes a little bit of navigation.
Yeah.
And I think you were already doing it. And, maybe the first week I was a little nervous about it, am I going to oversleep? But never once. I never, because I just knew it's like this. Look, it's a fucking responsibility. It's what you're asked to do. And you're there, and you're an employee, and unless you're trying to quit or you are quitting, then you do the job, right?
I learned to like it because, but now, because I still have the job. And everyone says that I've stabbed everyone in the back, and I get that a lot.
That's-
I still wake up early. I go to the gym at like 6 a.m. now.
There he goes.
And now
he goes to the gym.
Let's talk about my gym workout. But look, because it's like I feel like I'm not even like, what do I do? I'm used to getting up at that time now, so
You're not waking up at 4:15 though.
Not 4:15,
No.
and not thinking about it constantly like you are thinking. Because I tried to explain that to my doctor, who was talking about something. Oh, you need to lose some weight and all that stuff, which is true. I absolutely need to lose some weight, absolutely. But I was trying to explain to her, and it's hard for a person, I think, to understand the million things that are on your mind when you're about to have to go talk about stuff for 4 hours. You're trying to keep everything organized and your thoughts gathered, and maybe you have a joke or two set aside.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. But I didn't mean to go down that road. I just wanted everyone to know there was a lot of, even people told me, oh, good luck with Mike and Danny. They're not going to want to wake up. And
our reputation's kind of preceded ourselves in that regard.
Reputation is cocaine guy. And it's like, okay. And then my reputation is that I'm a talentless hack who works hard. And because I work hard, I'm able to sneak by.
Well, at least you work hard. I'm a talentless hack that doesn't work hard.
No, you do work hard. You're the first guy there, and you're in there
doesn't mean shit.
On Dingu's morning news.
Look, it's always the guy that shows up first and walks through the office real fast with purpose is the guy that's doing nothing. I'm just good at fooling people, Kevin. You know?
No, that's there, and there's
he's up there. He's up there early every morning. He's the first guy in the office every day. Yeah, but he doesn't do shit once he gets there. That's me.
That is not true. And Danny, I could at 8:30 p.m. I could go, hey man, I really need a Robert Duvall ice cream outro. If you could string that together, and boom, there it is. Next day, you're a monster. You're a monster.
Happy to do it. Anything for you, sweet Kevin, and you should know that by now.
Can we talk dad stuff real quick?
Yep.
Not specifically. I'm not getting personal here. So do you have like, I just got a mowing and all that stuff, and then it's really sneaking up on me here. We've had a lot of rain, so we're good.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, last summer is my first summer as a homeowner.
Yeah.
Just absolutely didn't water the yard. And
are you having foundation problems?
It's something that, well, probably, yeah. Technically, probably, yes. There's definitely a hole in my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And many cracks.
Don't jump in the hole. You'll go back in time.
So do you have like a sprinkler system set up, or do you get the tractor that goes on the hose?
No, the home that I bought.
What's supposed to do here?
I'm in year 8. Year 8. I'll complete year 8. When I moved in, I watched the election here in my home with no furniture. I had the TV mounted, but I was still waiting on furniture to get delivered. So that's how I know I'll have completed 8 years in my house when the election happens this year. And the house came with a sprinkler system, but I did have to get some repairs made to it. And I did get them to add one of those, like, it's like a smart brain the smart controller. So I can set it on my phone of what zones, it go when they go off and the duration and all that stuff. So I haven't used it this year yet, but I think it's probably getting close to time. I think we're getting rain on maybe Thursday, but it's still only 60%, but I'm going to probably crank up this bastard next week.
Yeah. I was wondering, like, when do you start? Because I mean, right now we're still in El Nino or whatever. We're getting balls ton of rain. It's like the 6th wettest year so far, but I didn't know what to do. And I was sitting there going, was there like a sprinkler guy? Or
you don't have a sprinkler system?
Man, if I do, I don't know it, but my house is old.
you would
people
know it.
Definitely left some information out about the house. Let's put it that way.
Well, they always do that.
Yeah, they didn't tell me that they didn't tell me about the dude that was living under the house.
Uh-huh.
That was rough to find out.
Yeah. The old dude living under the house.
He's wearing devil horns.
No, I've got a sprinkler system, and I've spent a little time, a couple of bucks on it to get it updated. But I just push the button and, waters 3 times a week at 4 a.m.
Call Carrie. Hey, Danny, let's play a little game real quick.
Okay.
Ready to, I'm going to go to the share screen here.
I'm going to look at the camera for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Hey, everyone.
Hi. Anyway,
If you have questions for Dingu at 9:30, we're gonna handle them all. He'll answer what he chooses. 9:30 questions for Dingu.
mhm.
Questions asked in Japanese, all the things. And no, I didn't stab Danny in the back. I had no say. In fact, he was out the building before I had even known what happened.
I tried to go home before I got fired. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Because we kind of had a feeling it was happening, but
Yeah.
nobody was really sure. And I go, man, I'm just gonna go home. I gotta go pick up my kid anyway. I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna go. Can you imagine if I'd have gotten like halfway down 635 over by
That means you come back.
Ferguson Road, and they're like, "Hey, man, can you come back?" No, I can't.
Crap.
No, you're gonna have to send a courier with some paperwork.
Share screen. All right,
Do it.
Danny.
Okay. Do I need to put my glasses on? Here, let me expand this. Okay. Oh, shit. 2002.
Okay. That's pretty tough right there, to be honest. 2002. It definitely does not sound like a rock song. Medium difficulty here. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I'm thinking something R&B.
Okay.
But we'll just move it along here. Oh, I know it.
Hang on. Oh God, it's very familiar. It kind of sounds like Flaming Lips, but it's not. Right?
I know what it is, but I'm gonna let you figure it out. We'll see how many.
Okay, give me some piano.
Don't tell him in the chat, everyone.
Okay, now I really don't know what it is.
Okay, strings.
Yeah. What was I doing in 2002?
Yeah. What were you doing in 2002?
I'm lost, man. I have no idea.
Let's get some voice. I can't imagine you listening to this style of music in 2002.
Yeah, I got no idea. Who is it, Kevin?
It's Justin Timberlake.
Oh, okay.
Cry Me a River.
Yeah, that's right. Now I hear it. Okay. Well, that was fun.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, what are you doing musically? Here's the I'm just share the screen and show the record for everyone so you can get a good look at it.
I'm watching our YouTube feed on my phone. And let's see here.
Yes, you can go get the record.
Now I can see the comments. The thong song. Gangster's Paradise. Yep, Timberlake. Okay. What am I doing?
Yeah, have you been doing some more music stuff? Have you been at the studio and stuff? What have you been up to?
So yeah, Skin and I, as you can see on the screen, released this lovely little gem 2 or 3 weeks back. And we've had a couple of listening parties for it, which have been fun. We did one at Roller Town, and then we did one at Southside Cellars in Fort Worth, where we set up we didn't do it, but Skin had somebody come out and set up a PA, and we would play a track from the tune and then talk about it a little bit, kind of geek out. It was very self-indulgent. I'm very masturbatory for us to get up there and this is so when the drums came in, and then the bass part kind of came from this, was inspired by this. It was really nerdy, but kind of fun, and people seemed to enjoy it. So we did a couple of those. I think we're going to do one in Dallas, maybe here in the next 2 weeks.
All right.
But aside from that, yeah, we've been back at Niles City Sound in Fort Worth, cutting tracks for a follow-up. And he's got some pretty prominent MCs lined up to appear on this one. I mean, we got Large Professor, who was instrumental in bringing Nas into the forefront. He was working with Nas before Illmatic came out when Nas was only 17. And then Cool G Rap, who's pretty, from what I understand, I don't know a ton about the genre, but I learned a lot producing music with Jeff Skin. And apparently he's a massive influence and always named, when rappers are citing their influences when they came up in the game, that Cool G Rap is a big one. So anyway, we had those two guys guest appear on this album that you just showed on the screen. And there's apparently 2 or 3 pretty heavyweights in the business, and some of them old school and some of them like really relevant new guys that we're going to work with. So in the process right now of cutting a lot of most of the instrumental stuff. We're almost done cutting all of the instruments. I actually got to play a lot of synthesizer on this one, which was super, super fun. And now we're kind of ready to do some of the singy vocals, and then we'll do the MC stuff near the end. But yeah, I love it. I love working with Jeff, and I love the music that we're creating together. So that's kind of what I've been up to.
What would it take for you to get Jeff Kavanaugh to produce maybe your third record? And how would that go? If you were to get rid of one Jeff for another Jeff?
Oh my God. How would that
I would like to see Kavanaugh walk around a music studio, to be honest. I think I would just like to see him.
I think he'd be answering a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Jeff would be asking a lot of questions.
He would.
What does that button do? Now, is that a bass or is that an electric guitar? Like really remedial, questions.
Where's the harmonica?
Now, who's that guy?
What
does he do? Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly, I know it's like a job for you, but anytime I've gone into a music studio, I get pretty blown away too, and start looking around, and I just want to touch everything. And that's not good, probably, but it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you watch. Oh yeah, real quick. We're not gonna keep you all night, guys. I promise, Danny. We're gonna let Danny go.
Like an hour.
We're not gonna talk about old Knox City football stories. We're not going to talk about what it was like growing up in the small towns. Now, I think it was before the bad day. We talked about Civil War a little bit.
Yeah.
Like spoiler free,
Yes, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. You recently got to go check it out, right?
Yeah, I watched it last week and I talked about it on a stream. So full spoilers here. All right.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's been out enough.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, just
I did not get to see your comments or hear your comments. So please, I've said my piece on it, but I'm happy to revisit some of that stuff now. But I really want to hear what you thought.
I loved it. I walked out of that thing feeling a lot of things. And there's nothing more tense. You know what it reminded me? It reminded me a little bit at a couple places, and I'm not talking about because there's bodies. There was some The Walking Dead feeling I was getting from back when The Walking Dead was good before it 100%. Got bad.
Yep. Obviously no zombies, but people trying to kill you or possibly trying to kill you.
Yeah.
But it did have that tension of that guerrilla warfare aspect of it, to where you don't know what's around any particular corner. Yeah.
I think there could be a movie or TV series made about the prospect of a civil war and those, the country being, a lot of California is its own thing, and Texas, and there's the Florida Alliance and the Northwest, and do it like a game of Risk. Like, I do think there's a movie to be made, but the angle they took is kind of how you have to do a movie. I had 2 plot things that bothered me a lot.
Okay. I think I had 2 as well. I'd like to see if we had the same ones.
Again, spoilers, people. They're coming. When they're driving and the other press team catches them and they're buddies, and then they do the bit where we're just wild friends and we're adrenaline junkies, and they have to jump in each other's car while driving 80 miles per hour. I would like to think that
it was unnecessary.
A more balanced Kirsten Dunst, the role she's playing a serious woman.
Yeah.
just stops the car and lets them keep going.
She was no nonsense that entire film. There's no way she allows that to happen. There's a way to get that other person. There's a way to get them to switch automobiles. Maybe even with her steady hand and measured brain, I still don't think that it would be realistic for that scenario to play out the way it did. But especially jumping from car to car, going, at a highway speed limit. No,
That bothered me so much.
I had a problem with that too. There's so much right about this movie and good about this movie, that little things like that, little silly Hollywood things that they have to do to inject the mass appeal serum into a film, so it's likable to everyone. Cast the wide net, put in some little tricks in there that people are going to go, "Whoa, did you see that?" I get why they have to do that, but yeah, that was completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
And what was the other thing?
So I think they didn't, they say that she's 23. But I don't think they did enough. They didn't show that she was experienced enough to be in some of these battleground situations, wearing military gear.
Who?
The younger girl who plays, by the way, she plays Priscilla in that Priscilla movie,
which I still need to see. Okay. Yeah.
Like where the soldier would pull the photographer, like, get back, like they're all like on the same team, like
right?
The dress is on the team of the troops, and I didn't feel like they did a good enough job of showing that girl would be experienced enough to get it. And also the part at the gas station where she just kind of wanders off and sees the guys who got hung.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, if Kirsten Dunst, who's already mad about her being on this trip, like she would have been mad at her and said no more. You don't do anything. You sit in the car the whole time. There's just a few things that bothered me with that. And also, she doesn't look like she's an adult. She kind of looks like she's a kid. And for the tall guy who played young Pablo Escobar in Narcos to kind of be hitting on her a little bit, it was a little strange because they weren't overly clear that she's 23.
I didn't think he was hitting on her. I didn't gather that. I think he was being more fatherly and friendly than anything. I never took that to be anything other than pretty appropriate. He was drunk too, but not that if he were making those moves, that would excuse it. But I didn't denote that from my experience.
And he's the reason they got in such a pickle. That guy, and he's just mad and smoking and drinking tequila the whole time.
I mean, it's fun. It's fun to do both of those things.
It was great. It was a fun movie. I really enjoyed it.
Did you not think that the final 22, 25 minutes, the whole ending sequence of war, of the ground battle in Washington, D.C., was as tense and heavy of a what you would perceive a modern day wartime battle scene playing out in a city that I've been to. I'm sure you've been to DC before, seeing it play out in a very familiar setting, and they didn't Independence Day it up too much. It wasn't too insane. It looked like what a real ground war would look like in DC, to the best of that your imagination or your realistic imagination could conjure up. And it was so tense, and it was as good of a battle scene that I've seen like that for that extended amount of time since, it may be sacrilegious to say, but since Private Ryan. It impacted me not near as much as that, of course not, but it's in the same lane. I felt that was heavy duty.
It was great. Here's one problem.
Yeah.
So once they get up to the White House, though, they kind of go in, the three of them, three press, the journalists.
Yeah.
Go into the front alone. Man, I'm nitpicking right now. I got to be real
fine. It's fine.
I'm kind of like waiting on the troops, and it took a while for the troops to get there. And it's like, aren't they supposed to like be in the same group as the troops? Now they had to separate for a second. I don't know. I think like, and when we talk about the movie, like I ended up going, okay, how did they do this and not make it seem that political? I mean, you can read into some things if you want to, but
the subtext is pretty pretty clear to me. I think it's very political. I think that obviously, okay. So the first thing you learn, one of the first things that you learn is that Texas and California have formed an alliance. It's clear that the government was doing some really fucking terrible shit for those two states to find common ground to rise against it.
Yeah.
So it's clear that it's if it's not already, and it's very opaque the way who the president, what he represents, what his ideals are. You don't really get a sense, but just from that sheer element alone, you get the idea that this is a really bad group that's running the overall country. And it's probably not it's probably not a regime that favors civil liberties and civil rights. It's probably one that is leaning more towards it's more probably a despot that is favoring some type of fascist regime or dictatorship or something like that. For those two states to come together and find common ground, I thought that was incredibly telling.
Led by Ron Swanson.
Ron Swanson, who is on screen for about, I don't know, about as much as PJ Washington played the other night.
He's pretty good.
Sports.
Yeah, look at this sports guy. Did you watch some golf yesterday?
Dude, I did. I watched, I checked in on golf intermittently throughout the 4-day golf weekend. And I texted Mikey just as Xander was about to attempt his tournament winning putt. And I just texted, I go, choke it, Xander, choke it. And as he shot, what was it? Maybe about a 9 foot, 10 foot?
It was between 5 and 10 feet. Yeah, right around there.
I thought it was going to lip out because it circled about halfway and then went down. Mikey texted me right back, and he was like, God damn it. I'm like, sorry, man. Cause he put money on DeChambeau to win the whole thing.
I had Bryson too.
Yeah. He said, I go, well, it's a shame that he came in second, but you guys will always have naked football.
Yeah. They had that.
The photograph of those two guys playing football completely nude. And then he wrote back and he says, I'd rather have the $520.
Yeah.
He put like $20 on Bryson. And I think the payout would have been like $520.
I want the money instead of the football.
Good tournament. Fun tournament.
It showed Bryson too. Like he did like a nice thing. He a guy, an adult grabbed the ball. He threw it to a kid. Mm-hmm. He's the biggest star in golf if he wants to be, but he plays on a different tour. It's very strange. Just wanted to see if you watched golf.
Yeah, no, I followed, as closely as I could. I knew that you did I checked in with your stream just for like 8 seconds because I knew that you were talking about Scotty. But you know how much we bitch about Scotty being so milquetoast and white bread. I don't know. It's kind of cool. He got some street cred over the weekend, right?
Hell yeah, dude. Absolutely, dude. And a guy named Xander Schauffele won. Like,
right.
Dude, Scotty looks like a gangster now.
Yeah.
That's someone said downbeat would have been a field day when the day he got.
My God.
Dude, I mean, I remember waking up and going, "What the fuck has happened?" And like, I wish I was like, "Okay, fine, I'll do a stream later." I was waiting to get this information because
oh my God, yeah,
it was a fun story. And there were dudes who had like Kinko's to shirt with his mugshot on it. I had it like by the time he had gotten there. It was crazy.
Yep.
So crazy.
It's funny how when things like that come up, I'm kind of beyond it now, but for the first week, my brain was like, okay, I'm starting to think of how we're going to work this into the show, what bits we can do, what jokes I can think of in my brain, and maybe what kind of song I could come up with. Scotty wrote an acoustic tune while in prison. And this was his experience. Some people learn to play the harmonica when they're in prison. Some people, might pick up a guitar and record a tune while they're in the pokey.
What if he called in and it sounded like Ziggy from The Wire? I don't know.
I don't know either. I forget what he sounded like.
Questions for Danny. If you have questions, you fire away now.
Let's see. I'm looking here.
You get him and you get him in now, and he'll choose. It's up to him, and he can leave whenever he wants. Game night tomorrow night, 9 p.m. We'll have a special guest. Winners will win a chance to win some cash as long as you have Venmo. There are no other payment apps in my world, just Venmo. That's tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Also, I have to say this because someone told me this. Actually, it helps. Follow, like, subscribe, all the shit. Do what you need to do. It helps us. Cool. There you go.
That was a good promo.
Yeah.
Little mid-segment promo there, Kevin. You're good at those.
That's what I miss. I kind of miss driving the bus a little bit. Like,
I know, right?
Hop on.
One good thing, because our names are on the screen, you don't have to do the mid-segment reset anymore.
Yeah, apparently YouTube hears you say follow and like, and they just bump you up a bunch. I don't know. I really don't know.
Really?
I don't know shit about fuck Marty. I don't know any of this.
You're learning. You're learning.
Okay. Danny, what's your favorite instrument to play?
Favorite instrument to play is bass guitar, because it's the one I'm probably the most. You know what? It's the one that I'm clearly the best at. But man, I have so much fun if I can sit down to a real piano.
Oh yeah.
Like an upright or a baby grand, or if you're fortunate enough that somebody's got a grand piano at their house or a studio, I can sit there for hours and hours and hours and just come up with shit. I love playing the piano, but bass probably. It's the one that I've been playing since I was a kid. And I guess out of all instruments, that's the most proficient.
Did you learn guitar first?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then piano over time? Was it easy?
Never. No. I'm just recently getting into piano, like in the last probably 2 years. And keyboards and synthesizers and anything with a keyboard, I'm way into right now. I'm terrible at it, freaking terrible at it, but I can do enough to make melodies and rhythms and grooves and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not. I can't sit here and let me play you a song, Kevin. I cannot do that. I have to really slow down and do. Okay, that goes there, like that kind of. Yeah.
I tried. I had a keyboard.
It's so fun.
Like 6 years ago, and I was terrible. It was fun to jack around with, but I'm so bad, and I'm not a natural musician like you. Like, you are one of those like born with it musicians, like, and then you've learned and practiced and gotten better over time. I was not that at all, but I found the keyboard to be so hard. Like, it's like one of my regrets. Like, I wish I would have taken piano lessons though, because I do think
same here
help you in other instruments and stuff.
Yeah, the thing that's great about the piano is, and I've heard this 100 times, for guys that pick it up later that don't grow up playing, and maybe they've gotten really good at guitar and they sit down and try to learn the piano. It's like, oh my God, this is so easy because everything is right there in front of you. Everything makes sense. That there are the notes, there are the sharps, there are the flats, there's everything right there in front of you. And you can kind of see it as a whole, as opposed to guitar, which whoever came up with the tuning for the guitar is the most evil man on the planet, because it's so hard because of that effing B string that throws everything off. For standard tuning, guitar is impossible to master. But piano, it's like, it just kind of, I don't know. There's something about it where it just is so open, and I don't know. I'm loving getting into it right now.
What's in the comic section of the Dingu Morning News? I don't think
I don't have any jokes.
On standby.
I did not bring any jokes,
and
today.
That's why it went away. By the way, Danny just ran out of jokes. There was no mandate or anything. Danny just ran out of jokes.
I'm serious. I scoured every source that I had online. I scoured every Reddit, every subreddit for jokes that I thought would make you laugh. And I think maybe 1 out of 100 of them actually did. Mikey tells one joke about me and rolling on the floor. Mine, not so much. I just ran out, and it became too difficult to find decent jokes. And I never really wanted to write any of them on my own.
Let's see here. Have you seen The Sympathizer, HBO?
I'm about 2 episodes behind, but I do like The Sympathizer a lot. There is, oh my gosh, I the guy that created The Sympathizer, he also wrote, I believe, and directed a movie that I watched on the recommendation of someone, because I was like, we were talking one night and she goes, I was talking about this new HBO show called The Sympathizer. She said, yeah, it's made by this guy. He made the best revenge film that I've ever seen in my life. You need to check it out. I can't remember the title. I should have written it down. Didn't know we were going to talk about this. I'll look it up in just a second. But I went back and watched this film. Give me 2 seconds to look
Yeah,
this
figure
cat
it
up.
out.
Okay. Yeah. Here's Kevin with a song.
So many good questions. They're probably not gonna have time for all of them. How's Malcolm doing? I miss his football picks from Brian.
Malcolm's doing great. He is 3 years old. He is crushing it. He's funny. He makes me laugh all the time. He's random, smart, ridiculous,
It-
Go
There's
ahead.
a new, Danny liked the movie Poor Things, Gerald, the same way I did. Poor
Yes.
Things good.
I did.
We have a new Yorgos movie coming a month from tomorrow. And
God,
it's
already, right?
Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons and Willem Dafoe and others. Joe Alwyn, weirdly, Taylor's ex boyfriend.
Okay.
It's called Kinds of Kindness, and the trailer looks really good.
All right. Quick reset here. We were talking about The Sympathizer. Yep. The creator of The Sympathizer is a guy named Park Chan-wook, and he made this movie in 2003 called Old Boy, and I absolutely loved this movie. Remember, what was the film that we all saw a couple of years back that won Best Picture? Everything All the Time.
Yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once. You remember how I described that movie and how I love that movie so much because it didn't rely on typical Hollywood cliches and the tropes of old, that it would just surprise you at every turn. This movie is very much like, it doesn't look like that. It's not even trying to be that, but it's again, it was 2003, so 21 years ago, but it's that kind of film where everything that happens is something like you've never seen before in a film, or something so surprising and so unexpected. But it's about a guy that is living his normal life, and he ends up living in a prison, being held captive by a dude, and he's in there for a number of years, I think like 10 or 15 years. And he finally gets out, and it's a story of revenge about this guy trying to find out who was keeping him captive. But the twist in this will blow your freaking mind. It's so good. It's so unique, but it's the same guy that's doing The Sympathizer. So if anybody's just tuning into The Sympathizer thinking, oh, this is really good, it's weird, it's different, it's unique, this guy is a killer South Korean filmmaker. And I want to go back and watch as much of this guy's stuff as I can get my hands on.
I'm seeing Spike Lee did an American remake of Old
He did,
Boy,
and I heard it was horrible.
2013.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go ahead and just leave this to the South Korean guy.
Yep. If it ain't broke,
don't fix it.
Don't fix it, Ryan.
What did Mikey do at Arby's?
Nothing.
Okay, Carrie.
Nothing. He made all of that up. There was never an incident at Arby's. Mikey was never banned from Arby's. He will say that I'm lying, but also he doesn't ever want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go on my record and let everyone know Mikey did nothing at Arby's. There's no controversy.
And don't talk about his bird either.
Now that we can't get into.
We can't.
No, we cannot talk about his bird.
We can't talk about that anymore. Well, I think we've done enough tonight.
What?
I mean, if you want to keep going, we can.
I was just getting hard.
I was just getting hard. You talk.
We do a couple. Okay. Let's make it an even hour. What do we have? 55.
55. We can get it. Yeah, we can go to an hour.
Let's do. This is like extra time in a soccer game. Okay.
Okay, yeah, we can do this.
Unless you've just run out of shit. Have you run out of shit, Kevin?
No, I had tons of stuff, dude. I just didn't think like unless you wanted to like sit around and talk Mavs. I'm like, what do you want to talk about? You're the one who should have blue balls. I still have to go in every day and shoot my wad. Hey guys,
how's that going, by the way?
They did a joke swap on Saturday Night
Live. So you guys are playing music now. What the fuck? That's wild.
Yeah, and
why couldn't they have just played music and kept everybody else around? I would have spun some tunes in the morning.
I think that's
You guys like Mudvayne? Here it is. Here's the new Mudvayne. Here's a Puddle of Mud. Oh, we're doing. You know what? It's the hour of mud.
I think that's kind of the point. We don't need to pay 15 people to do that. I think when we started and we were doing 2 to 5, we were playing music for that first week, and then we just quit playing music, and no one really cared. They had bigger issues, I think, at the station. They didn't really care. So yeah, we're play a couple songs, and the segments are shorter. 3 to 6 is a pretty good time to be on if you're going to be on.
Yeah, my God, yeah. Your show's shorter, your segments are shorter. You still have a job. You have benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you get in a car accident, you're covered.
Yeah.
If I get in a car accident,
call the Frankles.
Call the Frankles. All threes. 2
right. I say it. I mean,
all threes.
A couple of our segments are 18 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like 10-minute segments. They're usually 15 to, it just depends what songs are thrown in there, and we just kind of play what's on the log, But it's like, it's a music station. It's not a talk station anymore.
I'll tell you what, I can't wait to see what the ratings look like for this after the switch. I'm hoping that they're all geniuses and this switch is what people wanted and ratings go up, mainly because I love you guys and for your sake and your longevity at the station and in this business, it works out that way. But I will be surprised to see if how this plays out. I mean, I guess they couldn't really get much lower. It's not like we were crushing it.
Boy, yeah, man, where are they gonna go?
Yeah, but I mean, what the fuck if they go down?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe rock and roll isn't the answer. I don't.
I've already had to go in there and sit down and have the talk though. And that's the thing.
The talk.
I still got fired. Trying to explain to everyone, like it did happen.
No, we all got fired. I think was it Ben and Skin were the only ones that didn't get fired, right?
Yeah, but me, Ben, Skin, and Christina all worked there before the Freak existed.
Correct. So that was worked out. It's like, okay, well, yeah, we'll stay. We want to get our old band back together.
Yeah, they probably even forgot. I mean, they probably forgot that I even worked there. Honestly, like not them. I'm talking about like the company probably was like, oh yeah, he was on the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably like one of those deals.
You know what's weird about it is, I don't know if I can say this.
Nah, don't do anything risky.
No. It's nothing bad. It's weird because I want to listen to Ben and Skin, and the first day that it was on, when they did the big format change, I turned on the radio and I had 4 listening occasions between 3 and 6, and 3 out of the 4 was, I think, Thunderstruck by AC/DC. I think there was Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden, and then maybe I think there was a Limp Bizkit song. And then the 4th time I tuned in, I heard you guys.
Yeah.
Now, unless I love hard metal from the 90s and early 2000s and Ben and Skin, I'm going to be a little, maybe disappointed.
Yeah. So right now it's like whatever's in the log is what goes, and I don't choose what's in the log. I know for me,
personally, I'm sorry to interrupt. I am going to interrupt, and I apologize for it. Fine. I feel bad for the guy that loves, Alice in Chains, but hates talk radio. That's like, oh, the Eagles back. I'm tuning in. It's 3:25, and he has to listen to you.
I remember a conversation.
I want to hear fucking Man in the Box not Kevin's at Sevens.
No one wants to hear Kevin at
No,
7 ever.
no. I need to hear. I want to hear side one of Facelift.
It's interesting because I remember in 2020,
Not
like when we
you.
first went over there, it was like there were even like conversations that were had about like marrying the Ben and Skin show to the Eagle. Like the Russ Martin show was already there.
Mhm.
So it was like they were like they want us to play music. And I
No,
think
Russ wasn't spinning records.
no, and I think that's what I think we probably leaned on that after about a couple days or a week. I think we went, well, Russ not playing records. Why do we have to? And they ended up being cool. We haven't asked for that right now. We're just playing what's on the log and go from there. I think there are things though. I'm not involved in any high level. I'm a guy who's thankful to have a job, so I'm
Sure.
not like involved in any high level stuff. But I do think there's some things like, okay, are there songs that make more sense for the show we're doing? Because I'm not sure that Nothing Else Matters. As a 6-minute song makes a lot of sense.
Do you have control? I guess you don't have control over your return music.
We don't have return music now. It's
just the
come back out of
song.
songs. Yeah.
So I haven't listened enough. And like I said, I've tuned in a few times, and like as I said, I've heard metal most of the time, and then I heard you guys once, and I've checked it a couple times since then. But how does the format work now? Is it so let's say it's 3:00, you got your show open, you guys talk, right?
Yeah. So we will there'll be
Camera froze up.
Yeah, no, that's weird, right? A couple songs will play, and then about 308, 307, 308, we just come out cold open style.
Okay. And then how do you throw it to a commercial break?
We talk for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then someone will say we forgot to play the intro, and then we'll play the intro, and then we'll talk for 5 or 10 more minutes, and then at 3:25 we'll go to break.
So when you go to break, is it commercials?
Yeah, go to break. It's commercials and then 2 songs.
Okay, so then 2 songs. So when that second song ends, is there like a bumper? It's the Ben and Skin show, and then you guys come back, or do you talk it at the end of the song? Black hole sun fades away. It's like, okay, that was Black Hole Sun. I'm Ben Rogers. How does that work?
We don't have to say anything about the song Black Hole Sun. That's usually just go right into something, just keep it moving.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to play with the new format, I mean,
yeah, it's fun to get paid too.
But I'm also not driving this thing either, dude. Like I was, 60% of the time or more, probably more.
That's true.
On our show. And I didn't have to. I don't know why. It ended up working better because I'm pretty anal. So if I just took it a lot of times, even though you and Mike are perfectly capable and did take it out,
I'm not great at it. By the way, your camera's frozen. You look like Artie Lang from the Howard Stern show right now. Like if you never did heroin, you look like Artie.
Yeah. Is he still alive?
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah,
that's a good game show. Is he still alive?
Yeah.
I think my whole computer is frozen.
Well, you sound great. You look like Artie. You look like Artie Lang, but you sound awesome.
Is this the unendable stream? If my computer's frozen?
No, I can end this by just slamming my laptop shut, and it's all done.
But I can't hit end stream on the top right corner.
I don't think I can end it either. I can get out of it.
I wonder if we're even still on.
Yeah, I'm looking at the YouTube channel right now.
Still frozen.
Yeah. You're frozen. I'm looking at YouTube on my phone right now. As you can see, it's right there. I'm on, moving around, doing stuff, and you are up. Kevin left. Finally, I get to do the show I've always wanted to do. I have nothing to say. Let's take some questions. We lost KT. Yeah, still there, Kevy. This is the Danny Show. Hey, Roxana. Get rid of the dead weight. Let's see. Any more questions? I'd love to answer some questions. Yeah, I'd love to see. Okay, so are you guys listening to Ben and Skin, and how weird is that with the mix of music to them? And do you love having both elements? Because I think you'd kind of have to be a pretty specific person to love that genre of music and love Ben and Skin, right? It seems like that would make sense. But if you don't like that music and you tune in, it's like, oh my God, I don't want to hear this song. Do you just fight through it to hear them talk? Do you turn it off and come back? Or do you not tune in at all? Or do you have it timed out so you know when they're going to be chatting and join in then? And I figure if you're on this stream, watching this right now, you do like Ben and Skin. You're not someone who doesn't like talk radio or hates Ben and Skin and just is listening to the Eagle for the music. So I doubt there's many people that are in this chat that applies to. I love both, but I'd rather hear all talk. I try to listen. Okay, this is great. I try to listen, but it's the same as you. I tune in, but it's a song I've heard a million times. Love Ben and Skin, but it's weird. I try to time it out. That's what I figured. Mainly podcasting now. Tune in only during segments. I like rock, but when I'm in the mood, I have it timed out when they return. Okay, I get it. I mean, that's what most people do anyway. Like if you were a ticket listener, you knew when their breaks were for the most part, when they would stay on time, and you could, go away when commercials would play and come back when you wanted to hear Norm. Yeah, the format is weird, but I just feel like music radio. Where is it going? We can listen to whatever we want, whenever we want on our phones. Well, before I get into trouble and lose my severance package, I probably should wrap this up. And hey, thanks for joining us. Kevin's gone. Maybe he'll pop back in after I sign off. But tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the bar and find some friends, and we're going to sit around and tell each other how great we are. That's been fun. I want to do this again. All right. Thanks for joining.
Still there? Give it up for Daniel Balis. Man, that was It's always something with me in general, but especially on my stream. It's being slow again too. I think something's going on with my internet. Tomorrow night, tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Who will the special guest be? Will you win my money? If you have Venmo, you'll have a chance. 9 p.m. tomorrow night, KT's Crazy Game Night. Thank you again to Danny Balis for the first edition of In Tight. It's my new interview series. In Tight with Danny Balis. We got it In Tight. There's got to be a better name. That name fucking sucks. Guest tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Your guesses are as good as mine. I don't think Anne Frank will be guesting, though, Andrew. But thank y'all for hanging out. And thanks to Danny for taking an hour of his night for fun stuff. And go get the Silver Skylarks record. Yeah. We will do game night. Get more stuff like in the works that are like, oh, that'll be a fun thing if we do it. That'll be a fun thing to do. But yeah, no 7 Kevins at noon tomorrow. I have to go do something. I'll keep it vague. No 7 Kevins at noon tomorrow. But we game night tomorrow night, 9 p.m. And then we will go from there. Hoping to have a guest for 7 Kevins at noon on Thursday. So that is the plan. All right. I'm back. But I'm also leaving. Y'all got the bandle. Good job. Played one game. So we will do game night tomorrow at 9. Like, subscribe, follow Danny at Bad Karate Movie on Twitter, Instagram. I think he's Soul Bastard. Follow him, all that stuff. Saw Jeff earlier. Follow him. Get the Strip Mall Steve channel some love too. And then we'll be back 3 to 6 p.m. tomorrow on 97.1 The Eagle, around 3:08, usually when the show really gets going. So that is happening tomorrow night, 9. Join in. Be ready to pop on. You will get a chance to play in some games and win some money. God bless you all. Thanks for hanging. Rock on. And we'll take you out with this classic song from Danny Balis. And we'll do that in a minute. And once that happens, you'll know what happens. Here we go. In honor of mosquito season. Ready?
Hand, shoe, fire, traps, squash, magazine, fogger, foot. These are the ways you can kill mosquitoes. 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 Raid. Frog. Windshield. Fly swatter. Zapper, water bag, natural causes, suicide, drowning, citronella, natural causes, suicide, drowning, citronella. These are the ways you can kill mosquitoes. 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 Die.